Hello everyone, Sue Sagaris here. Now the topic for today is decisions, particularly unmade decisions. You know that state that we get in sometimes where there's a decision that needs to be made and we can't make it for some reason. We put off making it, we get distracted about making it, we put up with what's actually still going on, which is the reason why we need to make a decision to change. So there's this burden of unmade decisions that sits on people and it keeps us stuck and it squashes the life out of our dreams. So I was having a conversation with a client this morning who was in that situation and very identified with her usual way of coping. So the coping with the situation that needs to change is causing a lot of stress, overwork, long hours, very tired, etc., etc. At capacity, can't grow the business. Obviously, some decisions need to be made about expansion. Can't make the decision. Why not? It's not just about logic, and yes it is. It's emotion and it's logic. And so we gradually unpacked all this, and I want to share with you how we basically created a breakthrough for her. So the first thing is to make a list of what's actually getting in the way. It's obvious that this decision needs to be made. We know that we're prevaricating and postponing. What's getting in the way? So there's a list of items, and most of those items were related to something that my client needed to know in order to answer the questions that were rolling around. They were unanswered questions that were getting in the way of this decision and creating an unmade decision. So if you've got unanswered questions that are creating an unmade decision, please write them down and make sure you go and get the answers to those questions. The second thing is we need to de-risk the issues that you've listed. So in some of these questions, there were elements of risk. Oh, what if it goes this way? What if it's unaffordable? What if I get stuck? What if we can't change it? Again, you need to know the answers to those questions. So we have to quantify the risk and we have to find ways of de-risking in order to reduce the fear of getting it wrong or the fear of not being able to backtrack. Gradually over this session, we get to a better balance and a way of being able to evaluate, okay, am I willing to step forward, find out the answers to these things, which if answered in the way I need them to be, would actually free me up to make this decision and move forward and get back into growth? Or will I need to, at some stage, pull the plug on that investment and backtrack? And can I do that in a safe way? Can I de-risk my backtrack? So we looked at all of those perspectives, and when it really came down to it, what was actually getting in the way was that the coping energy of staying stuck, the way this person was normally making things work, was being projected into the future scenario. So the future scenario looked like, yes, I can see that we can answer these questions and I can have these new people come on board and we can do these new things, and I'm going to be learning as I do that, and ultimately it is going to free me up. I can see all that, and yet I'm feeling like it's all too much. So when we're coping for a long time with unmade decisions, it is all too much. What we need to understand is that in the new scenario that we're creating, the original coping energy is no longer required. So rather than projecting that into this new scenario, let's create a new paradigm. Now, once again, we might have some issues around owning that paradigm. Who am I to be this leader? Who am I to control these people? And that's another conversation. So these unmade decisions become a process where through coaching, we are actually unpacking, unpicking, de-risking, opening up pathways that allow us to help our clients move forward. It's all about moving forward. It's all about growth and doing this in a very safe way. And there's no simple answer for everyone. Each person has their own set of problems, has their own emotional connection to their current ways of coping, and it requires an individual conversation. So please come along and have an individual conversation with me if you would like to know how we might help you get unstuck. That's it for today. Sue Sagaris. Have a great time this week, next week, the week after, and I'll see you soon. Bye.